At 4 in the morning, a hotel housekeeper found Keanu Reeves sleeping alone on a lobby couch. He could afford the most expensive suite in the entire building. So why was he down there on that couch? The answer was so heartbreaking that it changed your life forever. Stop scrolling right now. This is a story that will touch your heart deeply. It will remind you what really matters in life. Get comfortable. You do not want to miss this. The Grand Windsor Hotel stood as one of the fanciest places in the whole city. Marble floors shone like perfect mirrors. Crystal chandeliers sparkle high overhead. Soft lights glowed everywhere. Wealthy businessmen, celebrities, and travelers from around the world passed through its doors every single day. Everything looked like it came straight out of a magazine. But this particular morning felt quiet and different from the rest. Maria Santos had worked as a housekeeper at the hotel for nearly 12 long years. She was not rich. She was not famous. Life had given her plenty of hard days. Yet she always showed up with a warm smile and a good attitude. She took real pride in her job. Every morning before the sun rose, she arrived ready to make every guest feel comfortable and cared for. She cleaned rooms with care. She made beds neatly. She always went the extra mile even when no one watched. That morning, rain tapped softly against the tall lobby windows. The city outside stayed dark and peaceful. Maria pushed her cleaning cart slowly across the quiet floor. She hummed an old song her mother used to sing to her as a child. The melody made her feel calm inside. Then she noticed something unusual. A man slept on one of the big leather couches near the fireplace. His dark jacket looked a little wet from the rain. His shoes seemed worn from lots of walking. A small backpack sat beside him on the floor. He looked like an ordinary tired traveler who maybe missed his ride or could not find a place to stay. He did not look like someone who belonged in a 5-star luxury hotel. Maria glanced around the lobby. No security guard stood nearby. No other staff seemed to notice him yet. The hotel had strict rules about people sleeping in public areas. She felt a little worried for him. She walked closer slowly. "Sir," she said in a gentle voice. "Sir, are you okay? Do you need any help?" The man shifted a little. He opened his eyes slowly. Maria froze right there in place. She knew that face immediately. Those kind eyes, the familiar sharp features she had seen in movies many times before. It was Keanu Reeves. For a moment, she thought her eyes played tricks on her. Why would one of Hollywood's biggest stars sleep alone in a hotel lobby? He could book the biggest suite. He could stay in the presidential room if he wanted. Yet here, he was on a simple couch. Keanu sat up slowly. He rubbed his eyes and gave a small, polite smile. "Good morning," he said in a calm voice. Maria stared in complete disbelief. "You're Keanu Reeves." He nodded with a humble look. "That is what people tell me." He did not act like a big celebrity. He did not demand special treatment. He seemed almost embarrassed that she recognized him. Most famous people expected attention and service right away. But not Keanu. He stayed down to earth. Maria looked toward the elevators. "Sir, should not you be in a room upstairs? Are you feeling all right?" Something changed in his expression. A shadow of sadness passed across his face. He looked deeply tired for a brief second. Then he forced a small smile again. "I cannot sleep upstairs." Maria did not know what to say next. The hotel offered some of the finest rooms anywhere. Guests paid thousands of dollars every night for those beautiful suites. The beds were soft and comfortable. The views were amazing. Everything felt perfect. Yet Keanu Reeves chose the lobby couch instead. She noticed an untouched cup of coffee on the table nearby. It looked hours old and cold. Dark circles rested under his eyes. His shoulders carried a heavy weight. Not physical weight from his backpack. Something emotional. Something deeper that made him look lonely. Maria felt sorry for him in her heart. Not because he slept in the lobby like someone without a home. She felt sorry because he looked so alone in that big fancy hotel. "Would you like a fresh cup of coffee?" she asked kindly. "I can get one for you right away." Keanu smiled softly. "That would be wonderful. Thank you so much." Maria hurried off to the employee kitchen. Her mind raced the whole time. She could not believe what was happening. A few minutes later, she returned with a steaming hot cup. She handed it to him with care. "Thank you." he said again. He spoke with real sincerity. He looked at her like she was important, like she was a friend, not just a worker. Most wealthy guests barely said hello to the staff. They treated housekeepers like they were invisible. But Keanu was different. He made her feel seen. Maria sat down briefly in a chair nearby. Normally, she would never sit during work hours. But something about this moment felt special. It felt right. They sat together for several moments and simply listened to the rain falling outside. The sound was peaceful. It filled the quiet lobby in a nice way. Finally, Maria spoke again. "You seem troubled. If you do not mind me saying." Keanu stared into his coffee cup. The silence stretched longer than she expected. When he finally answered, his voice stayed quiet and honest. "Have you ever missed someone so much that it hurts inside?" Maria's heart tightened right away. She thought about her own husband, who passed away 5 years earlier. Not a single day went by without her missing him. The pain never fully left. It became part of her, but she kept going. "Yes," she answered softly. "I know that feeling very well." Keanu nodded slowly. He looked out the window toward the dark, rainy street. Cars drove by with their lights on. People hurried to start their day. Life continued all around them. But Keanu seemed disconnected from it all. He looked trapped in his memories for a moment. Maria knew pieces of his public story. The world knew some of it too. Life brought him many challenges. He faced painful losses that would break most people. His early years were not easy. He dealt with family struggles. Later, he lost people close to him. Those kinds of heartbreaks leave deep marks. Yet Keanu never became bitter. He stayed kind. He stayed generous. He chose to help others quietly without making a big show. Seeing the sadness in his eyes felt different from reading about it in a story. Maria did not see a rich, famous actor in that moment. She saw a real human being, a man carrying pain no one else could fully see, a man who felt exhausted from fighting battles inside. The lobby doors opened again. A young bellboy entered. His eyes widened the second he spotted Keanu. Whispers started spreading fast among the early staff. People began gathering discreetly nearby. They pretended to work, but stole glances at the famous guest. Keanu lowered his gaze. He sipped his coffee quietly. The growing attention made him uncomfortable. He did not seek the spotlight. If anything, it made him pull back more. Maria noticed everything. He was not hiding from people around him. He was hiding from something much deeper, something painful that kept him awake through the night. The rain continued falling outside. Maria had no idea yet that this short conversation would change how she viewed life forever. The whispers in the lobby grew a little louder. Within minutes, several hotel employees stood near the front desk. They tried to act normal while looking over at Keanu Reeves. Some felt excited. Some felt nervous. Others simply could not believe their eyes. One of the most famous actors in the world sat right there in their hotel lobby at 6 in the morning. But Keanu did not seem to notice the buzz. Or, if he did not let it bother him. He sat peacefully with his coffee and stared through the rain-covered windows. He looked far beyond the city streets, lost in his own thoughts. Maria continued her work nearby, but her mind stayed on him. There was something deeply sad, yet strong in his eyes. She had seen that look before in other people. She saw it on faces at hospitals. She saw it on widows visiting quiet places. She saw it on parents who carried heavy grief. It was a look of someone who knew real loss, but kept moving forward anyway. An hour passed. The morning manager finally arrived. Employees rushed over to tell him the news. "You will not believe who is here. It is the actor Keanu Reeves." The manager straightened his tie quickly. He walked over with excitement on his face. "Mr. Reeves, what an honor to have you with us. Why did no one tell us sooner?" Keanu stood up politely and shook the manager's hand. "Good morning to you." The manager smiled nervously. "If there is anything you need, absolutely anything at all, please let us know right away. We want to make your stay perfect." Keanu thanked him kindly. The manager hesitated for a second. Then he asked a question on everyone's mind. "Forgive me for asking, sir, but why were you sleeping here in the lobby?" The whole lobby became silent. Even the staff, pretending not to listen, leaned in closer. Keanu looked around calmly. For a moment, it seemed he might avoid the question. Instead, he gave a small, gentle smile. "I just needed some quiet." The manager laughed a little awkwardly. "Surely your suite upstairs is much quieter than this open lobby." Keanu's smile faded slowly. His eyes drifted back toward the rain outside. "You would be surprised." He did not explain more, but Maria understood the deeper meaning. He was not avoiding simple noise. He was avoiding the emptiness that sometimes filled fancy rooms, the memories that became louder when everything else stayed silent. Later that morning, Maria received her assignment to clean the executive floor. She pushed her cart down the hallway. She noticed a room service tray sitting untouched outside one of the luxury suites. The room number belonged to Keanu. The food looked completely untouched. He had not slept much that night. He had not eaten much either. She thought back to their quiet talk. One of the biggest stars in Hollywood sat with her, an ordinary housekeeper, and treated her with full respect. He said thank you. He listened to her. He showed real gratitude. That simple kindness meant everything to her. The rest of the morning passed in a blur for Maria. The staff kept buzzing with excitement about their famous guest. But Maria felt something much deeper in her heart. She saw the man behind all the fame. Someone who carried heavy things, yet still woke up kind. Someone who remembered what struggling felt like and chose to be good anyway. Keanu Reeves has walked through many hard times in his life. He faced losses that hurt deeply, family challenges when he was young, painful goodbyes to people he loved. Those experiences could have made him close off from the world. They could have made him angry or distant, but they did not. Instead, they made him more compassionate. He learned to value simple things. He learned to treat every person with dignity. He gives quietly to others. He helps without wanting praise. He stays humble no matter how successful he becomes. That morning in the lobby, Maria saw those qualities up close. She saw a man who could buy anything yet chose a couch because his heart needed peace. She saw strength in his gentleness. As the day went on, Keanu prepared to leave. He thanked Maria one more time before he went. He spoke to her like an equal. No ego, just pure kindness. "Thank you for the coffee and the conversation," he said. It meant a lot. Those words stayed with Maria long after he left. She went home that evening feeling change inside. She thought about her own life, her own losses, her daily struggles. She decided then and there to be kinder to every person she met, to smile more often, to listen with her full heart, to remember that everyone carries hidden battles, even the ones who seem to have it all. You never know when a simple act of kindness can brighten someone's difficult day. You never know whose heart you might touch just by being present and caring. This story about Keanu Reeves and Maria shows us something beautiful. In a world that often chases money, fame, and attention, true strength looks like humility. True power comes from kindness. Keanu did not need to make a big speech or grand gesture. He simply showed up as himself, honest, respectful, and human. And that was enough to change Maria forever. We all face hard days. We all carry things inside that hurt sometimes. But we can choose how we respond. We can choose hope. We can choose to lift others up. We can choose to stay kind even when life feels heavy. Keanu Reeves reminds us that it is possible. He turned his pain into compassion. He turned his losses into a deeper understanding of others. He lives quietly and generously. He treats strangers like friends. He values real connection over showy success. Maria never forgot that rainy morning. Every time she walked through the lobby afterward, she smiled a little bigger. She greeted guests with extra warmth. She remembered the lesson Keanu taught her, without even trying. Everyone matters. Everyone deserves kindness. No one is invisible. And that is the real magic of this story. It is not just about a famous actor sleeping in a lobby. It is about the power of a single caring conversation. It is about seeing the human behind the fame. It is about choosing goodness every single day. What about you? Have you ever experienced a moment where someone's simple kindness stayed with you for years? Or maybe you were the one who gave that kindness. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your story might inspire someone else today. If this video touched your heart, please give a thumbs up. Share it with a friend or family member who needs a reminder that kindness still exists in the world. And subscribe to the channel for more uplifting real-life stories that restore your faith in humanity. Thank you so much for watching until the end. You make these stories possible. Stay kind out there. Be the light for someone else. The world needs more people like Keanu Reeves and more people just like you